Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of a Brit Does Baseball Does podcast. I'm joined by, as always, everyone's favourite San Francisco Giants fan, Cal. Cal, how you getting on?
I'll take that. What a fucking honor. Thank you. I would have thought it'd be someone much cooler than me, like Jerry Garcia or something, but I'll take everyone's favorite Giants fan. I'm doing good. The Giants have been fine. Work's been fine. Things are fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm wearing a Cubs jersey, but I'm not going to talk about the Cubs. We're not going to talk about the Giants.
No.
We're going to talk about a team we haven't really touched on before. And the reason for that is because highlighted by such a weird trade deadline in the fact that they got rid of everyone and then Nan, and then seemed to just get random players back in return. So we're going to be talking about the Minnesota Twins. Now, you're probably aware, I've said it on the podcast before, we're not very well versed in the land of the AL Central. I'm NL Central, Cal's NL West. Dan covers every East Coast team possible, it seems. But we kind of got a bit of a hole in the AL Central. So we've brought on a couple of our friends making their debuts on the podcast who are both Minnesota Twins expert. So massive Brit Does Baseball Does podcast welcome to Zach and to Adam. Hi, guys. Welcome to the podcast.
Woo. Hey, everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
Great to be here.
Yeah, welcome. How you guys doing? How you feeling this fine and tepid Wednesday afternoon?
Everything not Twins, pretty good, I think. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We'll get on to the bad stuff in a bit, but in life, stuff's good.
Yeah, better than I was with the Twins. I'm good. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. So before we get into the sadness, as is customary, Gary's dog has been throwing out some opinions.
Yeah, she's wild, honestly. These ones, she must have known we were doing a twin special because we've got some twins related ones. But just to completely throw you off, we're going to start off with a Blue Jays one, just because we think it'll be quite funny. So this is coming off of yesterday where I believe he hit 2 home runs and got a double as well. Sorry, I'll give the intro. Boo's hot takes. If it's spicy on the Nando scale, give us a very hot. If you think it's a pretty weak one, give us a mild one. Sorry, I probably should have said that from the start. If it's out of this world, you can bring your own hot sauce to the table. We've opened it up this year. This episode. God, sorry, very tired.
It counts. It was this year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We're a much more open society here at Brit Does Baseball. So our first hot take is that Dalton Varsho will be Mr. October in this year's playoffs. No hitter will be more hot. And this is coming off of him having a 2 home run game against the Colorado Rockies at Coors Field, where it's notoriously known that hitters hit better.
Was it not that one of the home runs was the furthest hit home run ever by a Blue Jay, though? 427 feet.
Maybe. I just got Boo's not really much into the stats.
Yeah,
so
but
I just got
that's the real LeBron stat, though, Cal.
Huh?
That's the real LeBron stat. Longest ever home run by a Blue Jay in Coors Field. Was he? What's the longest home run by a Blue Jay versus long pants or knee or down to his knees? What's the home run?
Well, that's actually never happened. They only have dudes in trousers hit tanks. So that's in there.
467 foot.
That's a big swing by any ballpark.
Sorry, 27 sounded a little less, but 60. Okay, it's pretty real.
Sorry, I'm fact checking it. If only the guy who gave me this hot take had included that in the chat. Not going to at anyone, but it was Dan. Adam, do you want to start us off with this one? Where have you got?
I think it's a good take because Varsho was on my fantasy team last year and he raked. He got hot for a good bit of last year. He was dependable for contact and power. If obviously the caveat to be Mr. October, you have to play in October. And are the Blue Jays going to be in the postseason? That's the question.
That's quite a good response, to be fair. Yeah, quite a mild take it seems. Then fair enough. Zach, handing it off to you. Where have you got this?
I'm trying to get it on the spicy range. I don't know. I said beforehand I was going to say lemon and herb, but it feels much hotter than that. So we're going to go. I'll go hot to extra hot. Nothing quite in the crazy range, but it seems pretty hot. He is currently pretty hot, but I don't know if we're. I don't know. It's a long way to October, right? Once it starts getting cold, once you start playing outside in some of those East Coast stadiums in October. Not so sure.
He's got 11 home runs in 28 games. Sorry, I'm just looking up his stat line. I probably should have done this before.
Yeah.
He's had 108 at bats and he's got 11 home runs. So we're looking at every 10 at bats he's getting a home run. That's quite a good record. With that in mind, he's also got one stolen base because we love stolen bases here. With that in mind, Cal, where have you got this on your scale?
Blue Jays all the way, baby. He's doing it. Fuck it. Someone has to. Why not Varsho? I like the Blue Jays. I think they've gotten better. I think they're gonna ride the wave of success all the way through. I'm not sure they'll win the whole World Series, but I feel like a guy like Dalton Varsho is made for the big moments, really. And I've no idea how old he is, but I feel like he's been around for a while. So how many more opportunities is he going to get?
He's 29.
Guys like Varsho are younger than you think.
No, he's dead now. He's an old man. He's a pensioner. They're going to ship him out to someone awful like the Yankees. And he'll never play in October again. I don't know. I think he's going to make the most of it. I think it's a pretty, it's a hot take, but I'm treating it mildly. Why not? Someone has to be. I like the Blue Jays. I like Dalton Varsho. 7 home runs in the postseason, Mr. October.
Fair enough. I think I'm gonna agree with Zach and Cal. I've got this as extra hot. I think he's having a nice stretch. I do think the Blue Jays will get into the postseason. I do think they'll win some element of the playoff series. I don't know what. Maybe a wild card. Bit of fun.
Definitely going to win the AL East.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope so. We don't want them Yankees doing it, which I don't think they will at this point. So yeah, I've got his extra hot. I think he's on a bit of a heater, but everyone cools down in the game of baseball at some point. Just look at the Cubs for the last 56 games. And if your name's not the Brewers, sorry, I said I'm not going to talk about the Cubs. That's my one comment. Yeah, extra hot. Yeah, we just thought we'd throw in a Blue Jays take just for a little bit of fun. Cal, I believe the second hot take's coming from yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. This one now. I was thinking about what's really going to test the limits of, like, is it a hot take or actually does this kind of make sense? The Twins win 1 game rest of the season. That's it. Do you think they're going to win a singular game of baseball for the rest of this year?
Like, they won like 3 out of their last 10.
Yeah, but that was before. This is now.
No, this is now. But I think that they're still going to win games.
Also,
because, go on.
If I look to my left, they're currently winning right now. So, I mean, I don't want to suspend people's disbelief in terms of the moment that we're recording this, and I'm sure that they'll already know the result and be eagerly, searching the result for Game 3 of Tigers Twins. But yeah, currently they're winning. So
I think they will win tonight.
So, just to clarify, the spicy through mild take, is it its worst takes is really spicy, right? So in this case, this is the hottest of the hot. This is. As much as I want to hate on the Twins, and we're going to get into that, and I'm going to start, hating on ownership and things like that. Yeah. In reality, we are still not the worst team in the division. We've traded away some really good players, but also the White Sox are terrible, genuinely awful. So absolutely not. I'm not even having that. There's a lot of bad things going on with this team, but this definitely isn't happening.
No. That's fair. I'm inclined to agree with that. I'm going Bukayo Saka limited edition, super spice. Of course, the Twins are going to win a game of baseball. Are you serious? They're fine. They're fine enough. But Gaz, how do you feel?
I'm gonna fuck it. Why not? I'm gonna go that wild. I think that's a fantastic take. I think they'll win one more game, and I think they'll do it against someone random like the Dodgers. I don't know if they've already played the Dodgers, Yankees, someone that's meant to be good. Hopefully the Brewers, but someone who's meant to be good. I think the Twins will win one game against them, and then they'll get swept for the other 50 games. Why not? Have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah, I'll take it though. I'll take the pick.
Oh yeah, Adam. What do you reckon? Do you think?
I think they're gonna, like, the Twins will surprise us. I don't think. Obviously, we're not making the postseason. But I do feel that we will exceed the very low expectations the trade deadline has set upon us because now the pressure's off. They're letting the children play. I think like Brooks Lee is going to finally play well. Austin Butler is going to explode, and people are going to do well now because like who cares? Like, yeah.
Right, you are. All right. Well, then, across the board, except for Gaz, who's got no faith in the siblings, the Twins will win a game of baseball this year.
Yeah, they will win at least 3.
That's okay.
Yeah. That's my hot take. At least 3.
I might be too spicy for us, Adam. I think you've come on the wrong podcast. Okay, our third and final hot take is a bit more of a, I want to say baseball fan fiction. So bear with me. I'm going to give you a backstory, and then I'll give you the hot take. So, and I'm reading this directly from my phone because I'm going to do it word for word. So Minnesota finally admits the dream is over. Byron Buxton will never stay healthy, and they're not paying $15 million a year just for vibes. They trick Byron Buxton into signing away his no-trade clause by using an autograph session to sneak the document in and distract him as he's signing. Meanwhile, the Miami Marlins, who are desperate and intrigued by the dirty move done by the Twins, take a chance. The return? A reliever with a cool name and Otto Lopez, plus cash considerations. Minnesota fans riot for 48 hours and then move on as Anthony Edwards, who is an NBA superstar and future Minnesota legend, comes downtown to quell the crowd. The demonstrators peacefully stop the protest and disperse to Nando's for a tasty dinner. The Twins go on to finish the 2025-26 season, assuming he means the 2026 season, last in the AL Central with a record of 17 and 145. So the hot take is Byron Buxton gets traded in the offseason, specifically to the Miami Marlins. Adam, do you want to go first on that one?
If you had said traded on subterfuge to the Braves, I could believe that because, like, no offense, I think Byron Buxton is an amazing angel of a human being. I think he could be tricked. I think you could like swap out something very quickly and trick him.
Okay.
I think he could, but like I think I don't think he will end his career as a Twin, unfortunately.
Okay, so we're saying quite not a hot take, apart from the fact it's the Miami Marlins.
Yeah, that's a hot take. The hot take is the Marlins.
I think the best take in there is that Anthony Edwards is going to come in and probably be one of our better relievers. Not that the relieving corps is particularly good right now, but he does have so much self-belief that he probably would come and do it. I don't know if he might injure his arm and not be able to shoot threes anymore, which would be a bit of an issue. But let's see where we get to.
Yeah, well, maybe a judge would tell him pay child support or be a reliever for the Twins.
Oh, that's a dilemma.
For those looking, Anthony Edwards offered to pay 18 years of child support in one lump sum. Then to avoid.
I did read that. That was a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
he's a menace. I love him, but this isn't the Anthony Edwards episode, unfortunately.
No.
I'm gonna say, somewhat mild. I think the way we've got there through tricking him in a signing session.
Yeah.
But I think the trade, like the actual trade package, I could see it happening. Otto Lopez is pretty good, and he's still quite young, and he's done all right. Cool name as well. And then just a reliever, someone that's like 28 to 32, play like 3 times a week, like a 3.5 ERA. Someone. I think I'm going lemon and herb. I see it happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the biggest hot take there might be the fact that we were going to sign a reliever. I mean, I think we've currently shown a dramatic disposition for getting rid of relievers. I don't know if we'd bring in a major league reliever. That sounds too positive.
Oh, we didn't say it was a major league reliever, just a reliever.
No.
With a cool name. With a cool name.
This is how Byron got tricked, Zach. You need to really read things in front of you and listen carefully. This is how he gets tricked.
It's easily done.
I mean, just to caveat this, the current Miami Marlins Major League bullpen, you've got Ronnie Enriquez, Calvin Fulcher, Anthony Bender, Cade Gibson, Lake Bakar. There we go. Lake Bakar is going to be the
There
reliever.
you
That's
go.
cool.
I thought Benders would be the reliever. That's a good name as
Nope.
well.
No, Lake. Lake is fun.
Yeah.
I like Lake. On that note, I'm going to say this is I'm going to say it's a hot take. I think Buxton probably does get traded at some point, I think, for his career. But do I see him going to the Marlins? No. Do I see the Marlins trading for anyone? No. Do I see him getting tricked in an autograph session? Be pretty fun if he did. That's be pretty funny. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up Boo's hot takes. Yeah, the other fan fiction we got involved 2 prospects and Sasquatch. So we went with the slightly more coherent one.
Yeah.
I don't know what Boo was drinking when she gave me this, but teaches 2 of your prospects to swing a 69-ounce bat.
Yeah,
For reference.
Yeah, could Sasquatch play third though?
Sasquatch isn't there. So, no, but I think one of your prospects can.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Sasquatch gets a kidney infection, possibly too much matcha tea, passes away prematurely at the age of 487 years old. And then they retire early and launch a reality TV show focused on camping, observing animals, and stargazing. So, moving on. That was Boo's hot takes. They seem to get weirder and weirder every week. If our fans would love to send us through some hot takes, it can't be worse than a Sasquatch dying prematurely. Yeah. So, on that note, we're gonna flip over to the meat of the episode, and that is everyone's favorite team from Minnesota, the Minnesota Twins. Sorry, Timberwolves, Vikings, and if you haven't, Wild, Minnesota Wild.
Wild, yeah.
Nailed it. I like the name. So we've brought on 2 Miami Twins experts because neither myself and Cal are experts. So we just thought it'd be nice to sort of get, how did you, what persuaded you to become a Minnesota Twins fan out of all the possible teams in the world? Zach, what drew you to becoming a Twins fan?
Well, actually, I've got a bit more of a history with Minnesota than the Twins. I guess I had family in Minnesota. I went to visit in 2007, actually. When I was 14, Minnesota was amazing. I think I famously had a milkshake every single day on the trip. It was pretty good. It was a 14-year-old dream. My uncle was basically every single day was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Everything." And he was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." Anyway, at that point, I was like, Minnesota's the best. It obviously was the best. Yeah. And I got into the NFL. And then I guess just from there, was a Vikings fan for a few years. And then I think in about 2011, became a Timberwolves fan. And then was basically like, well, I might as well kind of complete the trifecta and become a baseball fan. So beginning of 2012, I was basically like, right, now's the time to just get into baseball. And I've never really, I'm not here to send for Cal, but I'm not much of a multi-city sport kind of guy. I think keeping it in a city is pretty healthy. I like that. That's something I'm a big fan of. And I think once you've gotten to know the culture of the city itself, it's just so awesome. And then also just getting to getting used to all the media outlets and stuff like that. I'm like, it's going to be a lot of effort to have to think about somewhere else. So, kind of fell into Twins fandom through Minnesota, which is pretty good.
Nice. And what flavor milkshakes were you having?
I mean, all of them. I think it probably started with Oreo, but it's whatever Culver's was doing, which I think is technically a custard-based shake, which are thick as fuck and really, really fucking good.
Nice. So, yeah, fantastic way to get to the Twins. Milkshakes in Minnesota. Yeah. Fantastic. Adam, can you top milkshakes?
No, I can't. No, I'm a Twins fan out of my morality.
Okay.
Because I started watching like baseball like games rather than just like baseball movies or weird World Series classics on Irish TV at 2:00 in the morning. I moved to Canada. I was in Nova Scotia, which is in the Red Sox broadcast radius. So I started watching the Red Sox around 2006. Mm-hmm. I saw that second World Series win. I really like watching like Euclid and Napoli and Varitek. I thought it was a real fun team to watch. Really enjoyed it. But then they obviously when they hired Alex Correa after the 2017 Astros win, I go great. We have a championship winning manager. He's been great with Houston, and then they found out obviously he was the architect of Trashgate, of the trash can gate. He was him and Beltray were the architects of this cheating scandal, and Red Sox fired him for the year, and then they hired him back afterwards. And I was like, nah, this team is not for me. I cannot morally support the Red Sox after this. So my best friend in Dublin is from Minnesota. He's lived in Ireland for for 21 years now, and I started becoming a Twins fan to watch games with him. So
Nice.
yeah, I was there just after the big home run, the 300 home run season for the team. So I'm there for their kind of their peak and then their steady decline.
You came in just at the good stuff. I mean,
I came in for the Pro Series win.
I don't know if this is the right time to say this, but I came in just as things were getting bad. So I started in 2012, and that was pretty much the end of our previous run with Justin Morneau, Joe Mauer, and came in just as it got shit, and we were genuinely terrible. It was like I at the time thought that starting rotations were always just built with random players that they picked up that week, and turns out actually you can just have really good ones and just keep them. So basically the first 5 years, I think 2017 was the first year we made a run, and I was actually in Minnesota for the what do they call it now? I'm thinking play in because it's NBA, but what's the
wild card?
Yeah,
wild card. Yeah,
I was there for the 1 game wild card. It was pretty good. So but we lost. But it was that was the first time it got good. So I had to deal with 5 years of shit before it got good.
It's all quite wholesome. That's very sweet. I feel every time I hear the story of how someone else got into supporting their team, I feel like such an idiot because I'm like, well, Metallica and the Grateful Dead are from San Francisco. That's cool, man. And we got it was to spend more time with my best friend and because I've got family there. I feel like such a dickhead every single time I meet another fan of a team.
We could make it a challenge where we find someone who's got a worse origin story than yours, if that makes you feel better, Cal.
We can try.
Well, you could be from any non-New York-based Yankees fan, Cal.
No, they're all worse than that. That's the thing. Any Red Sox or Yankees fan that I meet in the UK has an infinitely worse origin story than that because they chose the Yankees and Red Sox, and that just is instantly a worse story because of who they chose. I'm sorry.
I became a Red Sox fan because I saw them on television.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that, baby. You're now in the hating part, so I thought that was fair.
No, just to say, as even still, I watched them because that was a team I could watch regularly. It's I'm gonna watch you guys. Yeah.
Hell yeah, I love that. That's cool.
Yeah. I went through the doldrums. I went from Nova Scotia to New York as a Red Sox fan. And I got abuse on the street every time I wore my Red Sox cap in Manhattan. I got dogs abuse.
It's nice to know that there are some similarities within sports culture between the US and the UK.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to be wearing when I go to New York in December.
A coat. It's cold.
More than one coat. Maybe a hat.
It's more than you think in December.
I can't wait. I'm very excited to try some food. We can chat about places where I should go and eat, where I'll go and eat a lot. Don't worry about that. I'm a growing boy. We've got great origin stories. We have Batman, Superman, and Adam and Zach becoming Minnesota Twins fans. All origin stories that you can look up, and they're all equal weighting. So we're going to go into a little bit more detail about the Twins. I think a fun place to start, and probably one of the main reasons we're talking about them, is with such a weird trade deadline. And by that I mean they got rid of 10 of their major league roster, and probably had one of the wildest trades of the deadline in the Carlos Correa deal. So I'll just give you a quick rundown. So the Minnesota Twins traded away Carlos Correa, Harrison Bader, Griffin Jax, Louis Varland, Brock Stewart, Danny Kalum, Willi Castro, Ty France. I think there's someone else missing off the list, but Chris Paddock, I know, also went, and Duran also went, or Jhoan Duran, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Coming back into Minnesota, amongst others, were Hendry Mendez, Jeremy Villora, James Outman, Garrett Horn, Mike Milewiski, Alan Roden from the Blue Jays, Kendry Rojas, Taj Bradley from the Rays. I actually thought that was quite a good deal. Sam Armstrong and Ryan Gallagher, among others. So you traded away all of your major league roster, outside of probably Byron Buxton and Joe Ryan for some reason. Didn't trade him, which is a bit weird, and brought in a load of prospects and Alan Roden and Taj Bradley. So it was a bit of a bit of a fire sale, I think it's fair to say, from the Twins. I quite like some of the players you have brought in. Like, I think Taj Bradley's quite a good starter, all things considered. You've got Sam Armstrong and Ryan Gallagher from the Cubs, who I believe one was a top 30 prospect in the Cubs system. So, the potential's there. Two main questions. One, what did you guys think of the deadline overall? And two, the Carlos Correa deal. So I believe it was Carlos Correa went to the Astros, but you're still paying $33 million of the contract. And you got back, I don't know who you got back for that one. Let's just say a reliever, probably.
I think we could have got more for the Carlos Correa deal. I think we just gave Carlos away. Just to think, we're giving up $75 million. Yeah, of course. There, you can take him, please.
Yeah. But do you think you could have got, as you said, do you think you got a little bit done hard by on that deal? The fact that you're still paying $33 million on the deal?
We could have, if we pushed for it, we could have got Christian Walker, I think.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a bad trade.
No.
For me personally, I think I'm completely fine with that. I think it's one of those things that I think is a running theme for me throughout this whole thing is probably got a little less than we could have done, but it's probably fine. But overall, the issues with the Twins, I think, run significantly deeper, and I don't necessarily have a problem with anything that's gone on, including this Correa deal. It's not really a problem, but it's more, where are we going and what are we actually going to do with this? I mean, saving $20 million a year, probably not a bad thing, but what are we going to do with it?
Exactly. I think the whole reason of this salary cutting is to make the Twins more appealing to an outside buyer. I think that's what it's really about. I think that there was the Pollards wanted to sell last year, or the last offseason, to the guy who owns the Phoenix Sun, the Ishman or the Ishtar family. And then
the Ishbias own the, what do they own? The Suns, right?
Yeah. And they're apparently really, really good owners. And I thought we're definitely being bought by these guys in the winter. I was like, I felt like it was a done. I remember I was going to winter training one day and I was like, this is a done deal. I'm going to come out of training and the Twins are going to have new owners. Never happened. Never happened.
If that is the case, then I kind of respect the moves a lot more, and I'm a little less foaming at the mouth upset for Twins fans. Because not only are you Twins fans, you guys are my friends, and I care about you, and I care about your mental health. And so I'm seeing all these things come through, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, stop it. And it's like you refreshed it, and I thought something was going wrong. I thought it was just listing the whole squad. It's just another one goes.
Well, I definitely don't want to be defending anything to save their money on the way out, though. That's not something I'm into. Don't care about saving their money. No, they haven't been particularly good owners. There's a terrible story from back in 2002 where the league was wanting to contract a team, and I believe that they actually approached the league and wanted it to be the Twins, and basically they were going to get paid by the rest of the owners to get contracted out of the league. So they've never really been particularly good owners. I don't think they're not particularly well liked. I guess that they're kind of like Minnesota figures and own car dealerships and shit like that. So are kind of vaguely famous, but certainly I'm not in any way positive because we're saving them any cash.
No, but, I do not care.
Yeah, exactly. But if it is going to help push the sale through somewhat quicker, maybe. But then at the same time, is having, the two main closers that closers and elite setup guys that we traded is are we going to be more appealing because we don't have those guys?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe.
Are we going to be
want to try right away and have a couple of good relievers? I don't know.
Yeah, are the Twins going to be attracted to other sports owners who only care about numbers, which is bad. You shouldn't own a sports team to make a profit.
No, that's very true.
Yeah, because also I think the Pollards, in terms of their net worth, are one of the wealthiest based team owners.
Oh, I thought it was the opposite. I thought
No,
that
I thought
they're in pretty heavy debt, aren't they? Because my understanding is that they're in pretty heavy debt because the real estate market is tanked in
maybe.
downtown Minnesota.
Yeah. Well, I heard like they are, but in terms of like if you own a baseball team, you are hugely rich. It's a real ego thing, but again, trying to squeeze every penny out of a sports franchise is
Absolutely.
just like it's like ghoulish.
And not about to hence not about to celebrate 10 million saved for them.
No. If it means us getting rid of the Pollads, I'm very happy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Also, but I don't know what it is. It's not because the Cubs got a really good player, Gary, but I nearly cried when I saw Willi Castro was traded. That's the trade that kind of broke me. I was like,
Cubs are out here breaking hearts. What can I say?
Castro's gone. What? It's like that. I knew Duran was going. I knew Jax is going, but like Willi, the sheriff, he's gone.
I'll be honest. Nice little player. Nice little left-handed bat.
Oh, you're gonna love him. You're gonna get a Castro jersey soon. I can tell.
I already do. His name's Willie. Fucking love that. It's interesting you talk about the ownership. We're coming up to halftime, but just kind of want to circle back on that. So I'd say there's more well-known worse owners in baseball. John Fisher springs to mind. Jerry Reinsdorf covering 2 sports, which is impressive. And Robert Nuttin for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I always find that the Twins ownership kind of goes under the radar, as in Twins fans know he's not a very good owner. Maybe other people in the AL Central know that he's not a very good owner. But I couldn't tell you that there was an issue other than the fact me and Adam have had about 5 conversations on the ownership. So why do you think they kind of go under the radar?
I think it's mostly the last 2. Well, they've had the issues in the past, but really until about 2 years ago when basically everything fell apart when we won our first playoff series in like 20 years. So it's that was basically the worst thing that could have happened to us apparently. But I think until that point, for the last say 10 years, they've generally speaking put cash in when it's needed. We haven't been particularly high on the spending charts, but we've typically been around 15th, 16th, 17th, and that's completely fine for a market of our size. But it was basically 2 years ago, they came out immediately following the series win when we beat the Blue Jays and then lost to the Astros, but it was generally considered, I think at that time, that was like pretty positive. Everyone was happy. Things are looking good. We'd done the Correa deal and stuff like that. And then they came out almost 2 or 3 weeks later, ownership came out and said, it's just too expensive. It's just too much. And we can't afford it. We want to take the spending down. The exact worst time to do that, just as we're, coming off a series win and everyone's really excited. And I think at that exact moment, the slight bit of positivity that had built up over, owners that generally had been not that well favored before, previously, just immediately evaporated. And I think, it was kind of everyone was, I guess, waiting to jump on that. And sadly, it's just gotten pretty rotten. And as Adam mentioned, they put the team up for sale last year. And I think, since that point, everyone's just ready for them to go.
Yeah, that's sucky.
They also, because in stark contrast to all the other all the other Minnesota teams, especially the Timberwolves and the Vikings, they want to win games. I know, like, it physically and emotionally, like, baseball is a different season because it's 162 games. But like the Vikings and the Timberwolves are building themselves to win. They have like faith in the team and they're winning. Yeah, JJ we trust. I think
they're spending. Both of those teams are now spending money around the edges, right? Like the Vikings famously spend so much money on facilities, etc. That's just a pretty standard thing that they do. The places you can spend money outside of the well, there's no salary cap in baseball, but and the same thing with the Wolves now that A-Rod and Magloria are in. It's like generally people that want to go and spend some money on some good stuff. Twins, not so much.
Yeah, it's a shame because I can't speak much for the NBA. I don't really pay too much attention, but I feel like the Vikings are a super likable team, And it just kind of transfers, because when you have that one positive experience with the team, you're like, oh, they must all be like this. Like all the New York teams are like that. All of the LA teams are just like that. You know what I mean? And so I was like, oh, the Vikings are nice. Twins are probably like, there's the Twins. It's a family name. It's probably all good vibes and hot dogs and stuff. But it's a shame. And, you know, while we're not celebrating the rich getting richer while upsetting families and children all over the world at this point, it's a good thing if they do sell. You know, there's the passion, the love for the teams. There's good examples being set within kind of that state. And yeah, dude, I think it can only be positive if they do. It's just, you know, hopefully they do sell to someone.
And I think one positive is, unlike the athletic situation or, you know, other ones that have gone south, I think from everything I understand, I think we're tied into that stadium for, I mean, it's pretty new. It's only like 10 years old or 13 or something like that. So we're tied into that stadium for, I think, another 20 years. So there's not going to be any backdoor exits or anything like that. At least I don't want to, you know, truly speculate. But as far as I'm aware, that would cost a shit ton of money to take the team elsewhere.
Yeah, I do. I also think like the target field is very profitable.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing. It genuinely is.
When
you were talking about vibes, one thing it does have, target field is vibes. It is sick. Yeah, like downtown in the background. Minnesota is like the perfect summer temperature. It's not ridiculously hot like you know, southern states or whatever. It's such a nice summer temperature, and just it's vibes. That stadium is built for enjoying the game anywhere but your seat. Just in the bars, has amazing view lines. I love it. It's amazing.
Hell yeah, that's great. Well, speaking of good vibes, when we get back from our break, we're gonna have a little talk about what you guys would do to bring good vibes back to the Twins franchise. We'll see you in a minute.
Hi there, welcome back to the second half of a Brit Does Baseball Does podcast, episode number 4, which we've titled Twin Killings because we're talking about the Twins. It's traditionally time for Dan's Mid-Atlantic Minute. You'll notice we've got quite a few varying accents on this week's episode, but we don't have an American accent in Dan. Nice little Virginia boy. So I'm going to be doing his Mid-Atlantic Minute, which is going to start right now. YouTube decided to delete the original Brit Does Baseball Does podcast YouTube channel for unfair and unmerited responses. So the only way that me and Cal could think about to get back at them was to just say a number of brands that we don't have advertising deals with on this podcast to see if they pick it up. So in no particular order, Nike, Adidas, Reebok, Puma, the Chicago Cubs, San Francisco Giants, MLB, fuck Rob Manfred. Am I missing any, Cal?
Starbucks is controversial as well. We'll go Starbucks, McDonald's, Coca-Cola. Who else is doing bad stuff?
BP a few years ago.
Pfizer, probably.
SodaStream.
SodaStream?
Yeah.
The Bubbles guys are getting controversial?
Yeah, no, they're in all. There is some bad stuff there. There's some.
Big Bubble isn't good. I didn't know.
Yeah, because like Scarlett Johansson gave up her UNICEF ambassadorship over being in the SodaStream ads. It's like there's like UNICEF was like, actually no, you can't support this brand and be our ambassador. And Scarlett Johansson's like, yeah, I'll still sell bubbled water at home. That's fine. Yeah.
Oh my god! Well, then SodaStream.
That's another one. UNICEF. Yeah.
We're getting it. Fuck it. We're going the other way. Charitable.
Yeah. The World Health Organization.
And if this does get us brand deals, maybe EvoShield.
Yeah, we're Mizuno. They're cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna go.
I watched a very good review of the EvoShield catcher's gear, and I kind of want a set now.
Well, hopefully they appreciate what we're doing and fighting against the people conglomerate that YouTube is.
Bad Google.
Yeah. Fuck you, YouTube. Along with the Sea Dogs. Fuck you both. I'll fight both of you. YouTube and the Sea Dogs.
In that order, or Sea Dogs first as a warm-up?
Yeah, triple threat ladders match. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Triple
Hell
threat.
myself.
Fine. That's going to end the quite chaotic Mid-Atlantic minute. So over to Cal with your regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, which I'm making up as we go along. Let's do it, dude. So, as we were talking and hearing about, just how kind of deep the ownership problems go, and the love and the passion that not just yourselves but so many Minnesota fans have for the team. Let's do a little hypothetical. So, we're taking a very average sum of money. I don't know what that average sum of money is. Let's call it $300 million.
Seems average.
The stadium, the facilities, everything is fine. You've been given the Twins. What does success look like for you within 5 years? And what kind of moves are you making to improve the team that are, we're going to try keep it vaguely realistic. So trading for Judge, probably not super realistic, or a good move. Apparently he's a douche, but whatever. All right.
Yeah. Zach.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Hell yeah. Fuck you, Aaron Judge. Arson. I'll never forgive you. Adam, why don't you start?
I actually talking to my friend Nick about this. The first thing I would do is fire Rocco Baldelli. Because I do not like him. I think he's a coward. I think he's a bad manager.
Right on.
Yeah,
So who are you bringing in? You can't just fire someone and be like, all right, that's it. Job done.
I don't know. I bring in literally anyone else. I was just like anyone who trusts players and just isn't beholden to numbers.
This leads back to my theory of how much advanced strategy can there be beyond big and small ball in baseball.
Yeah.
But okay, so you're bringing in someone, anyone.
I've got an idea. So I play on this team called the London Mastodons, and we have a fantastic manager. His name is
Thomas O.
Thomas O. Bring him in.
Not me. Even though we were technically co-managers, I'd still let Thomas run.
Mate, I've never seen a man come with so many clipboards. That man is
he's a clipboard machine.
Yeah. Anyway, so Thomas O's coming in free of charge. In fact, he'll pay you. He'll pay you $1 million. So you've not got.
I think like the Twins can foot his relocation bill to Minnesota.
Yeah, they're paying for accommodation, but not living costs. He's not got a per diem or anything.
No.
You get an apartment and then you're on your own. You gotta join the betting rings or something that's happening. Yeah. So okay, so who are you looking at? I guess we can look at free agents a little bit over the next couple of years, but also maybe a couple trade targets and 4 or 5 players you think that can kind of steady the ship and start trending upwards again.
Yeah.
I think for me, I have a hard time believing any new owner is going to come in and make us splash the cash. Also, I don't know if we've, top free agents are going to want to come here after we made our first big splash with Carlos Correa and then traded him 2.5 years later. I don't know how excited they're going to be about that, but I certainly think for me, I think we've got a reasonably good farm system. But what I would personally want to do, which I guess sort of is a retort to your first point, then follows on from this, is I would definitely want to get someone in the front office that knows a little bit about something about hitting, because at the moment we've done an amazing job developing pitching. It's been pretty fucking good the last 3, 4, 5 years, which was under this front office came in, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, and I think they genuinely have done a really good job developing pitching. But we've seen so many hitters come through and not really live up to much. I think we do have a pretty good farm now, and it's looking pretty good. I guess with the moves that were made, we're probably not going to do much next year. So if the moves that I would want is sort of trading more players away and looking at 2027 and beyond, and keeping that pitching pipeline and hoping for some of those hitters to come through. And again, now that he's gone, I guess shortstop would be good, but that's what I'm going to say. It's not in the Twins style really to trade for do big trades or sign big free agents and maybe.
No, we've got Brooks Lee. Hopefully He could stop hitting double plays. He's a pretty good defensive shortstop. But like, I do think there's something really worrying about how often Twins players get injured. I think I truly think the training staff is the most incompetent in professional sports. There is something horrifically wrong about how often people get injured. We can't just be drafting people made of glass.
This is genuinely something I want to know. Is like I know that injuries are huge in baseball, but I genuinely feel like every time I put other teams on just randomly on the TV, I'm like, oh, look at that. They've got all the good players that I expected to see. They're all there. I'm like,
everyone's got a working hamstring.
Whereas I turn on the Twins and I'm like, I literally listened to a podcast yesterday about the Twins and I'm like, oh, right, there's 9 more injured players. Cool. Yeah. Didn't know that. Right, they're out for the season. ACL injuries. Cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at a Buxton highlight. I'm like, oh, did he break his ribs? Like, is that him done for the season? He runs into the wall, makes a great catch. Like,
and then he's
but
gone.
It is like there is something there that I think Baldelli needs to go. All the training staff needs to go. Get anyone else. Because it is horrific.
But I must say, I'm probably on the opposite end of the spectrum to Adam. I'm like, I want to lean more into the numbers when it comes to the hitting. I want more numbers, more everything, please.
Oh yeah, my issue. I've no issue.
Let us descend into the numbers. Bathe in the numbers.
Yeah, but numbers with pitching is what my issue is. Just like there's no confidence in pitching. I remember like there was in Griffin Jax's last game. He gave up 3 hits to the Red Sox. But like Griffin Jax is an elite strikeout pitcher. He can you just trust Griffin Jax. And I think afterwards, then he brought Cody Clemens in. He brought a position player in after Griffin Jax gave up 3
We were
hits.
like 10 down, weren't we? I think.
I don't think it was. It felt like. Just let him go.
Cody Clemens has turned into like the 9th man in the bullpen. It's been great. I mean, all teams should have
Cody Clemens is
elastic arm, ready to go, just absolutely perfect. Just keep it. Just keep throwing it, brother. Keep throwing it.
Yeah, I love Cody Clemens.
Save those innings from the guys that actually matter. Not that we have any of those left, so whatever. But
it's frustrating now. Like Thunderbunk, I was like. Taking on responsibility and like, oh, I'm important now in my job. I don't like this. It's like, yeah, we've got this guy. He's great. He's got one of the best heads of hair in baseball. He's got
promotion by default has to be one of the most depressing things that you ever get in life, right? So, I was promoted, but there was the default option.
It's because the other guy died. Someone had to do it. I'm not even getting a raise.
The guy that was significantly better than me was traded for literal popcorn, and now I'm starting. What does that say about me?
Yeah.
Now it's my problem. It's not. I'm not celebrating. I'm stressed, dude. I don't want to be here.
So we've focused a fair bit on kind of what you change, and we've touched a little bit on what target field is target field, isn't it? I'm not putting my foot in the arse. Perfect. It's quite a nice MLB stadium, so I'm not going to ask about that. Are there any elements of the team or the front office that you'd like to keep? And one name I'm going to throw out there because I've heard positive things about this guy, apart from the fact he can't stay healthy, and that's Royce Lewis. So I guess, again, twofold question. Is there anything you'd like to keep the same as it is at the moment and you think you can build around? And is Royce Lewis the real deal?
Go ahead, Adam.
I think he could be. The issue is injuries.
Yeah.
It is quad, it is hamstring. There's something there. But when he is hot, he is unbelievable. He's a great third baseman. Possibly should just keep playing second, but like an electricator when he's hot.
But two ACLs in 2 years is just a fucker. Like that I think just sadly is the constant Twins case is that we were talking about injuries. It's not just injuries; it's injuries to the best players and to almost all of our prospects have just at some point or another had big injuries in it. really is probably the most depressed. Sorry, I know that this wasn't the bit you wanted, which was talk about the positive stuff that's already here. But genuinely, this is the hurtful thing: is there are positives here, but they all seem to have had some injuries, and it all seems to be quite depressing.
Yeah.
I'll give you one positive: is I'd really love to keep hold of Buxton. I'm a bit of a, whilst I am a big numbers guy, I'm also a bit of a sucker for a guy that just likes to stay where he's playing, and I think that's just kind of fun. He's got like 3 more years left at a really, really good price, and just why not? Let's just keep him. He's great. He loves playing on the team. He turns up and he talks about how good it is. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I love. But if Buxton played for any other team, there'd be already statues of him in that city. He is unbelievable.
Let me say that as in like already seeing the Jhoan Duran entrance music in Philadelphia is probably one of the most upsetting things I've seen this year. Just it was the most exciting thing every time you saw it when it was on TV. It's the best entrance music in baseball, and just seeing it somewhere else was just heartbreaking. Again, sorry, I know this was supposed to be a positive segment.
No, but also the thing is like he came out there and he's gotten like 2 saves already for the Phillies.
Yep,
in 2 appearances. Maybe 3 saves in 3 appearances, but like he was never that consistent with the Twins because maybe he didn't like playing in an organization and didn't really give a shit.
But I do. Okay, I'll give you one on-field good positive that I think is actually worth building around. Is actually with all the tradeaways that happened, most of the players that were traded away were what do you call them? Free agents to be, and then bullpen pieces, and ultimately those are probably 2 of the most disposable areas. I actually think when I was going through it, I was like looking at the rotation for next year. It's actually pretty fucking good, and it's been a strength for the last few years, and it could just be a strength next year. So if you can get the lineup to be average, I honestly think that 2026 rotation could be top 5 in the American League. It's still pretty fucking good. It's got Duran, it's got Bailey Ober, and it's got some pretty hot young prospects. Oh, sorry, and Pablo Lopez is now coming back.
Pablo Lopez can figure it out again because he was great last year, not disappointing this year. But like if he can figure it out, like he is
100%. Yeah, that's that is a genuine positive that remains on this team. It's not so good for the next 2 months, but honestly, next year could be sick.
Yeah.
Nice. I think we should cut it there while we are ending on a legitimate positive before we find something else to be negative about.
And just check it. The Twins are winning.
There you go.
Bottom of the 5th.
There you go. It's better than the Giants. They're losing to the Pirates again. Anyway, we like to end by playing a little game of Start Bench Cut. We like to do one baseball related and then one non-baseball related because you're allowed a personality outside of the team you follow as well. Gaz, I believe you have this week's baseball one. Do you want to go first, or shall I do the non-baseball?
No, let's. We like to end on a non-baseball note, just to show we've got layers here. We're like an onion in Shrek. Everyone has layers. So mine's actually going to be places to sit in a baseball stadium. So I've got 3 places you can watch the game from, and you've got to start one, bench one, and cut one. So I've got in the bleachers is option number 1. Out there, with Bleacher Jeff, if you're a Cubs fan, or the equivalent of Bleacher Jeff for every other team. Doesn't necessarily have to be at Target Field, but if you want to envisage Target Field, you can. So that's number 1. Number 2, probably the most expensive seats in the place, behind home plate. So you get to, properly see the umpire miss the balls and strikes call, rather than sort of pointing at it saying, yeah, that's definitely a strike, when you can't see it and you've got bad eyesight like me.
Yeah.
And number 3 is a bit of a weird one. It's from the dugout. So from either yours or the opposing, probably you'd want to be in the team you support's dugout. But if you wanted to be a little shit stirrer in the opposing one, you're more than welcome. And you can kind of, see the players' reactions when they come back down after a nice inning or a strikeout. So where would you like to watch the game, fellas? Zach, do you want to start?
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm going to keep this to target field. We're Twins fans. I think that's more exciting.
Yeah.
Definitely going to start the bleachers. That the bleachers at target field are genuinely awesome. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of decks out there, which is just there's so many good places to go and watch the game. As I said earlier, there's so many places to go and watch the game that aren't the seats. So I genuinely love it out there. That's always been fun. I definitely think what's the middle one? Bench.
Yeah, bench.
All right, bench. I think that's going to be the dugout. That sounds fine enough. I'd like to do that. In fact, it's kind of the perfect benching thing. I think actually, I'd like to do that once a season. It sounds fun, but I also don't really want 100 mile an hour fastballs coming flying at my head. That's not really my vibe. And then definitely cut the posh seats. Fuck that shit. I haven't got time for that.
I can respect that. Man off my own heart. Adam, turning it over to you.
I would start the defensive seats because I even still, like, I'm 42 in September. I'm still like trying to be a better catcher. I'd love to be that close to major league catchers. See how they set up, how they warm up, what's happening. Just be that closer. I think it'd be really, really interesting. But yeah, I think I would bench the bleachers. I think that's a great option. Great vibes, great sunshine, great food. Just like, but also I would cut by the dugout because I just don't want to like be that close in case like by a just like being like, oh. Actually, one of my favorite players, like Pedroia. What if I found out Pedroia is a racist? And like I got to hear him like talking about Dominican players. Like, no, I don't want to hear that.
I should probably clarify. Dustin Pedroia is not a racist to our
No,
knowledge.
he's absolutely not. Because I wouldn't like to have that confirmed or denied. It's a mystery.
Allegedly not racist.
And also, Dustin Pedroia taller than you think because I walked past. He said hello to me once. And I walked past him, way taller than you think. He just looks short in television because he has to sit next to Big Papi.
Fair.
Okay.
Was he like nice, or was he like hello? Yeah.
I was like, I was in Fenway Park with a friend of mine who works in Fenway. I was her guest to the Friends and Family Day at Fenway. Walking backstage, they're just beating the Diamondbacks, and he walked past, and I was like, "Oh, hi!" And he's like, "Hey."
Hell yeah, that's what you want from an interaction.
Perfect interaction. Didn't get any signs. Didn't like trouble him.
Nice.
Yeah.
No racist comments. Yeah, it was fantastic.
No, I don't know why. Because it would crush me to learn that Dustin Pedroia was a bad person. That's why I in my head, Dustin was, oh no, Dustin, no.
Right on. Well, when I think of this, because I'm going to answer this one too. I thought of the place I've seen the most baseball games, which is at the Rogers Centre in Toronto, which if you get the chance to go, do it. It's fantastic, especially night games, bouncing all the time. I absolutely
have you not seen more games down at Finsbury Park?
I was about to say Finsbury Park.
Count. The Major League Mets in like brackets London. Nah.
games you play in don't count.
Exactly. So based off my own experiences at the Rogers Centre and what I'd imagine I'd enjoy at Oracle Park, I went there the once. I sat like out towards left field, but kind of on the side, and it was cool, but I wasn't really aware of what was going on. My main issue was staying warm and surviving. I'm starting the bleachers in the Rogers Centre. They've got like around it's been renovated, but I imagine it's still there. At the first tier kind of thing at the back, all the way around is like a little table that you can like put your nachos and stuff on, so that you can eat first of all with a table, and you don't have to like try and figure out this cheese falling everywhere, but also you don't have to bother the guy next to you all the time. So you go eat, come back, watch the game. Fantastic. I loved it. I'm benching the dugout because, like Zach said, it would be really cool, like twice. And you just, I feel like not the novelty would wear off, but you just kind of, you'd lose the immersion and start thinking of other things to be worried about, like the kind of like, what if you let's go of the bat? Like the amount of times you see the bat kind of flying over and you got to like catch or whatever. It would scare me, but I'm cutting the home plate seats. I understand the appeal, and hey, if MLB's listening and they want to give me tickets to go see the Giants behind home plate, I won't complain. They're pretty cool. But it's just the fact that with the bleachers, you've got the freedom to kind of move around. So I went to one game and I thought for my birthday, I'd treat myself. I'll buy like really nice seats, like 4 rows up from the front, right behind the catcher. It's fantastic. I left after the first inning to go stand in the bleachers because the people around me were annoying me.
Yeah.
And I realized that I was going to games, but I was moving a lot because I wanted to, like, I didn't like this guy. So I'll just move rather than like start an issue. I'll just go somewhere else. It's a me problem. I'm not going to stop you supporting your team. So I found an old guy that was on his own kind of by the bleachers and was like, hey man, my seat is free over there. It's 4 rows up from the front. Here's a screenshot of my ticket. You can go sit there if you'd like. And so that was pretty cool. But yeah, didn't like it. Annoying people. I like the freedom to move. I was gonna say a bleacher creature. I'm definitely not. I'm in the bleachers.
Yeah. That is the one downside of sitting in very expensive seats. Like you have to put up with the other people who bought expensive seats. And then generally it's not a good vibe.
No. And usually it's because of alcohol consumption. We're talking cocktails, boys. With specifically rum.
What a segue. What a professional broadcaster.
Thank you. We're talking rum cocktails specifically. It's a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, and the doctors have been telling me to stop for a long time. Will I listen? Yes, they're professionals. Listen to your doctors. Starting off, we've got the humble mojito. If you're unaware of what's in a mojito, that's rum, mint, soda water, and sugar syrup. Next up, you've got pina coladas, which is coconut cream, rum, and pineapple. I think they taste like air fresheners, but what do you think? And then the Mai Tai, which I'm not super well versed in, I'll be honest, but within a Mai Tai is rum, orange curacao, orgeat, lime, and sugar again. Give me your official definitive rankings that will shape the rest of humankind. Gaz, you first.
That was such a smooth segue into that.
Thanks.
Like, that's just the whole thing.
Respect.
Fucking fantastic. I'm quite well versed in a Mai Tai. I'll be honest. I quite like rum in cocktails. But I love coconut and I love pineapple, so I'm going to be starting the pina colada or whatever you'd rather. Is my saying, in the words of Dizzy Rascal in Holiday. Not one of his greatest songs, but I fucking love it. Pina colada. I'm starting. I am benching the Mai Tai. I think there are nicer fruitier cocktails, but if you put a Mai Tai on a menu, I could swing that way. I'm well versed. I'm gonna, and this is an easiest one. I'm gonna cut the mojito because mint should be nowhere near cocktails. Toothpaste and after 8 chocolates. That's it.
Which are the same thing. You can use both for either.
Yeah. Multifaceted, those after 8s.
Yeah.
All right, fruity boy. Adam, what do you reckon?
I just want to preface this. I really, really like mojitos. I used to have a mojito. Used to be my Christmas Eve drink with my family. We used to make a batch of mojitos. Great. I am cutting mojitos because if you work in a pub and someone asks you to make you a mojito, that is the next 5 minutes. Mojitos and espresso martinis are two of the most time-intensive, annoying drinks to make.
Yeah, I just had some flashbacks.
Yeah, if you're asking for a mojito, asking for an espresso martini or a martini or a mojito at a bar, you are a selfish person who has never worked in hospitality. Don't do it. So I am now in the Mai Tai. Is it coming in a tiki glass?
You can come in a tiki glass if you
the
want.
Mai Tai comes in a cool tiki glass, I am taking the Mai Tai.
Hell yeah.
Benching the pina colada.
That's respectable, Zach. What do you reckon? What's the definitive list for all of mankind?
I'm gonna start by doing my cut because it's so awful that I just need to get rid of it so quickly. Which is the pina colada. That is sugar and coconut and
air fresh. It's air fresh.
Yes, genuinely awful. I think I've had a Muay Thai once, so we'll just put that in the bench. I'll take it again. I really don't really remember it. All I recall is it just was in my hand and I drank it. And then I will at the top. Absolutely, I'm going to put a well muddled mojito. Just it. I think it's difficult because the textures of the mint being in there when it's badly muddled and then the mint is in the mouth. Not good. However, when the flavors are perfectly in there, mixed with the rum, it's pretty fucking unbelievable.
Hell yeah. Well, that's been the definitive list of mojitos and pina coladas, etc. You've been listening to Cocktail Talk. We diverged slightly with talking about baseball for a little bit. That won't happen again.
We really shook it up with the baseball talk.
There he is. And on that note, thank you very much for listening to another episode of Brit Does Baseball Does podcast. I've been Cal. Gaz has been Gaz. Our guest has been wonderful. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Goodbye.
All right. Sláinte. Slán everyone.
Thanks for having me.